Hi, let's look at this RC. So the first paragraph talks about three subdomains into which philosophy was once divided. That is philosophy of man, philosophy of nature, and philosophy of God. The second paragraph tells us how physical science emerged out of natural philosophy. So the emergence of physical science out of natural philosophy, and how they went on to become distinct and almost opposite antithesis to one another. The third paragraph tells us about an incident that triggered this divergence of science and philosophy. And the fourth paragraph further talks about the incident and tells us how science and philosophy became distinct disciplines. So the third and fourth paragraphs essentially talk to us about the triggers behind divergence. To the questions now. Which of the following would the author most likely agree with? Answer A says the development of modern science should be credited with debunking superstitions of natural philosophy. Though it is true that modern science debunked the superstitions of natural philosophy, author has not praised science for the same. Author has maintained an air of objectivity. He hasn't favored science over philosophy. Therefore, I have qualms with this word credited. Author has never praised science for the same, merely described how science overtook philosophy or science diverged from philosophy rather than praise it. B says the undoing of natural philosophy can be attributed, at least in some part, to the division in the first place of reality into three philosophical subdomains, which means natural philosophy खत्म इसलिए हुआ because philosophy को in the first place divide किया गया in three philosophical subdomains. Would the author agree with this statement? Let's see. The first paragraph talks about the three subdomains, and the second paragraph says this partition became controversial with the development of modern science when certain domains of inquiry had been removed from philosophy and passed on to the competence of science, which means had there been no division, had there been no partition, it would have been more difficult for science to take away some domains of inquiry from philosophy. So B is something that author would agree with. The undoing of natural philosophy to some extent was due to division of philosophy into three subdomains. C says, prior to the evolution of modern science, the study of reality was systematically divided into three domains. Would the author agree with this? That prior to the evolution of modern science, the study of reality was systematically divided? Well, in the first paragraph, author says It was a so-called systematic division. The use of so-called suggests that author makes fun of it or he disagrees with this term systematic. Therefore, this is wrong. Author would not agree that it was a systematic division. He says so-called systematic. D says cosmology rightfully belongs to the philosophers rather than the scientists. Again, author has maintained his objectivity and has not favored either party. So author may or may not agree with this statement that it rightfully belongs to philosophers. We can't infer that. Second, why does the author mention supernova explosion of 1604? Guys, in the third paragraph, author says the supernova explosion was the germ cell. This is my answer. It was the germ cell of the conflict between science and philosophy, which means author mentions the supernova explosion to trace the origin. Genesis means origin. To trace the origin of dichotomy, that is division between science and philosophy, that the passage as a whole talks about. So yes, he is tracing the origin of the germ cell, is the origin of the division between science and philosophy. A was a tempting choice, but author has not mentioned this incident to pit two disciplines against each other. Author is not pitting them against each other. Author merely describes the situation that pitted them against each other. So A goes out. Mysteries of the cosmic world is an idea never mentioned in the passage. B goes out. Author does not contradict the main point by using this incident. Rather, he supports the main point. The primary purpose of this passage is to, well, give the history of supernova. This is a minor point. That's not the primary purpose of this passage. As we saw, the primary purpose is to talk about how science emerged from natural philosophy, how the two disciplines diverged. So B sounds much like it, to describe a shift in thought as a result of a natural event. Natural event refers to 1604 explosion of supernova, and describe a shift. Shift refers to the transition from natural philosophy to physical science. The primary purpose is to juxtapose two opposing views about supernova. Again, supernova is just a minor point, an example to talk about the bigger conflict between science and philosophy. Supernova is just a minor example to prove the same. This is explain how science and philosophy interrelate. Yes, but in context of the cosmic world. How science and philosophy interrelate in context of the starry world, the cosmic world. So D is too vague, too broad in context. Author does not really talk about science and philosophy in general, but science and philosophy in context of the cosmic world. So D goes out. It's too general. Fourth, what can be inferred? Supernovae can take over a year to fade from view. Last paragraph tells us in 1604, a supernova became visible, and it was visible in a daylight for more than a year. So yes, supernova can take over a year to fade away from the sight, to fade away from the view. A is definitely correct. Mind it. Answer choice A says supernova can take over. Possibility. That is why it is correct. It is a possibility. Had answer choice A said supernova take over a year, without can, then it would have been wrong. They do not always take over a year, but there is a possibility because 1604 it happened, which means there is a possibility, right? Prior to 1604, no one had ever seen a supernova. Only the text, last paragraph, only tells us that supernova became visible in 1604, does not mean it became visible for the first time. So B is out. Galileo convinced the philosophers. He did not really convince them. He proved them wrong, is what the last line of this passage says. They undermined the views of Galileo, undermined the views of many philosophers. Science and philosophy have never converged, contrary to fact. Exactly the opposite. Science and philosophy, as per the passage, are two sons of the same father. They diverged from the natural philosophy. So it is contrary to fact. Last, what happened as a result of supernova of 1604? The supernova created and dispersed many heavy elements in the outer space. This is true of supernova in general and not true of the supernova that we saw in 1604. That particular supernova did not create or disperse heavy elements. Supernova in general can do so. So factually twisted. Galileo explained the origin of the supernova. He sought to explain, which means he tried to explain. Was he successful in explaining? We don't know. Therefore, B also goes out. Last paragraph, reference. C says the public was interested in hearing lectures about the phenomena. This can be inferred. Several lectures were widely attended by the public. So yes, the public was widely interested. Galileo's lecture were opposed by philosophers. They were not opposed by philosophers. They only contradicted philosophers' views. So D also goes out. These are your answers, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Keep watching for more. VM signing off.